In today's video, I'm shooting a video in my new house, and we talk about getting ready for stage. Hey guys, what is going on? It's Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com, and I gotta make my first apology. I said I was gonna get a video out on Thursday. It is now Saturday, so I failed. But to be fair, I think I underestimated the moving process. So we actually moved on Wednesday. We had all the stuff here by Wednesday night, and I thought, you know, I'm gonna get a lot of stuff done, and the day after that, I'm going to do videos and get right back on my schedule. Well, what I didn't really account for was when you move a whole house into a new house, it's not set up. We are still just unpacking. Most of it's in the garage, but we have so much to do, and it's new furniture. We ordered like things that have to be put together, so whatever. I'm not making an excuse. I just didn't have time, plain and simple. But that's okay, because I'm excited about getting this started and getting back into my routine, and that starts today because we're almost there. My son's 3rd birthday party is tomorrow, so a lot of this weekend going into it is getting set up for that. And then once that's done, it'll be smooth sailing, and I want to talk about a couple fun things we got coming up. The first thing I want to talk about is this powerlifting meet. If you can see my shirt, this is the 3rd annual USF Powerlifting Meet. Hold up. Yeah, check it. I'm one of the sponsors, along with a bunch of others. And it's gonna be April 15th. Starts at 9 a.m. It's in the Campus Recreation Center, and I gotta say, it's a really fun environment. It's not a sanctioned meet like USAPL or any of that. So it's very well run, but it's nice because the atmosphere is more family friendly and fun, and there's just people running around, and I'm excited to see because it's grown. My friend Chris Guy, who runs it, has grown it quite rapidly. You know, powerlifting is really popular, so it's gonna be fun. If you're in the Tampa area, I'm pretty sure it's free to come and just check out and hang around the campus rec, and nice way to spend a weekend. Another thing I got to announce is that for those of you that are not familiar with Nick Bear of Bear Performance, I'll link his YouTube channel below. He's got an awesome YouTube channel. He's in the Army, and he's just about to get out, but you know, he's someone I've been aware of for a real long time, and we met up at the Arnold, and I didn't realize it, but you know, he follows me as well, so kind of a cool bro moment. We follow each other, and I noticed that when we were talking, he was mentioning some things in the future. Well, when I got back, we stayed in touch. So myself and George on June 10th are going to be doing a free seminar at his gym. He announced it on his Instagram, so I'll link his Instagram right here if you're not already following him. And we're just going to do probably some stuff on nutrition, powerlifting, physique stuff. So we haven't announced the topics yet, but myself, Nick, George, and a couple others that are going to be speaking, we're going to set up a phone call and go over exactly the topics. So June 10th, Austin, Texas. If you're in the area, he owns his own gym. It's a really cool facility. I can't wait to see it. He's just a very driven, motivated, and strong as hell. So a very cool combination. So I wanted to get all that stuff out of the way. I'm moved. We still have a lot of work to do at this new house. We haven't even started construction, but I'm building my own garage, studio, office on the property, but that's gonna take a few months. So for now, I've got a little office set up in the back. I think with anything in life, change requires you get out of your comfort zone for a little bit, and I'm definitely out of my comfort zone right now. But anyway, guys, let's get to the topic at hand. All right, guys, so for today's topic, with competition season being here, and by here, I mean like literally here, I have 4 people competing today, talking to them on my phone right now. I had to cut the video off so I could go chat with a client. I'm gonna call them right after this. And so what I wanted to get into with today's topic is just going over being properly ready for competition season, and understanding there are a few things that if you don't do them, you will not be ready for show day. I think a lot of people make this assumption that if they don't look that great going into peak week, that the process of peak week, where you manipulate a bunch of variables is going to change the way you look and feel during peak week. In my opinion, this is a very, very dangerous way to be. Peak week is not meant to change the way you look. Peak week is meant to bring out the best possible you at that moment. I hear some horror stories, and I know we've all talked about it before, about people that looked great a week out from the show, but then the day of the show they looked flat, they couldn't get a pump and all these things. And we now know, based on all the stuff that's been around for years, that so much has to do with not pulling out sodium, not pulling out water, you know, using carbohydrates to properly fill glycogen in the muscle and move fluids to where they need to be. But you see, none of that really matters if you're not truly stage lean. And truly stage lean is different for everybody else. So what I want to talk about today is the scale. I myself am super guilty of this. Even right now in my head, knowing that I'm going to compete next year, I have a number in my head of what I think it's going to take for me to get to look shredded. And granted, I am handing off the contest prep to a coach. And for that reason, I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm second guessing. And when you're competing and you're coaching yourself, at a certain point you can no longer remain objective, because, you know, our brains are connected to our bodies. So I'm handing that off. So what I like to do with my clients, I do like to set realistic expectations for what a goal weight is. But the pushback I often get, or the questionnaire that's sent to me, is, hey, I'm looking to compete, I want to get to 180. And I'll say, well, if you get to 180, we're still going to be 10 pounds away from competition weight. And the reason I feel most people disassociate the weight with the scale, because you don't really understand just how much body fat your body has. You see, a lot of people, when they start to see their abs or they start to see some vascularity, they think, oh, they're almost stage lean. Meanwhile, you might have 10 to 12 more pounds of body fat in your lower body alone. The body stores fat in various ways, and for everybody it's different. So there tends to be areas that we call stubborn, but there's still lots of body fat storage throughout the body. And honestly, when you're going to get on stage, you need to get all of that off if you want to be competitive. If you want to be someone that when you walk out on stage, the judges go, okay, that person did their work. Let's just put them to the side there in first place and we'll worry about everybody else, right? This is our goal. Our goal is to have the athlete walk out on stage and there be no questions about who did their homework, who dieted long enough, and who did the process right. Honestly, if you get shredded for stage, it's almost hard to mess up peak week. You could probably just go in like it's a normal day in the gym. And I see a lot of people instead that are 6-8 weeks out from stage, that they look really good from the front, or they look really good in good lighting, or they might have hit a good day in the gym, been in the sauna for a few minutes, walked out and felt great. But that's not real life, right? You're manipulating too many variables. And when it comes to the day of the show, you don't know what's gonna happen. It's not gonna be a perfect scenario where they go, hey guys, you got 45 minutes till you're gonna be on stage, so you start working out and look great. No. I've been at shows where I was literally getting tanned and they're like, hey, you're on stage in 3 minutes. And I'm like, 3 minutes? I haven't eaten, no one cares. They don't care, okay? It's only about getting on stage. And if you look great all the time, it's not gonna have a huge impact. But if you feel like you have to do all these things perfectly to look amazing on stage, then you're probably not ready, right? A great bodybuilder, a great bikini competitor, a great figure competitor, a great men's physique competitor, they look great all the time walking around. All we're looking to do for peak week is really just get that final touch. Make sure that the muscles are fully recovered. Make sure that everybody's, that the muscles are fully filled out and hydrated. Make sure that, sodium's right, so when you go to get a pump, you start to feel vascularity so you can walk out on stage looking great. But it's not always gonna be the case. So we want to get to that stage position ahead of time. We don't want to rely on peak week for fat loss. We want to rely on peak week for restoring the body so that it looks fantastic the day of the show, you look great, and you feel great. So what does this mean when we're talking about giving yourself enough time? You have to be honest with yourself, okay? And it can be very tough. Coaches with a lot of experience can really help with this. And it was a lesson for me when I first worked with Lane Norton, when he told me, I was walking around at like 235, 240, and I thought, oh, I'd be on stage about 215. And he's like, no, you're probably gonna be on stage at 200 or less. And that was a scary number for me because 200 pounds was a number I always wanted to reach. And you probably have right now in your head a number that you feel, if you're a male, is your best look weight. Well, my friend Brian Whitaker once said, you probably have to get to that weight and lose another 10 pounds to look stage ready. For females, I find it's a little bit different. They're not so obsessed with the scale being higher. They're more concerned with the look they get. They're more concerned with the scale being higher in the off season. So it's kind of inverted. Guys, off season want the weight up. Girls don't. So hopefully that's a helpful tip for you guys. And I know in my last video I mentioned I was going to give some feedback for all those people that wanted to do the shredded for summer look, and don't think I have forgotten. I'm going to go through those comments and answer every one. It might be late tonight, it might be tomorrow night. I will get to them, they're very important to me, but I always put clients first, and then with the move, my son's birthday being tomorrow, so it's a little down the priority list, but it's not forgotten. Anyway guys, I appreciate it. I hope you have an awesome Saturday, and we'll get this train rolling again. And until then, I'm gonna shoot videos in weird locations and see how they come out. But I hope you guys have an awesome weekend, and I will talk to you this week ahead.